Baby birds are so cute, cuddly, and amazingly tolerant because, they're babies. They don't really know any better yet, and life is just sort of happening to them. So let's talk about the 5 ways people screw up baby birds from the start and how you can hopefully avoid making these mistakes with your baby bird before it's too late. Before we get to the first mistake, I do want you all to know that my baby bird course is 50% off April 8th and 9th, 2023. So use the code BABYBIRD2335 at checkout. This video will stay up, so if you miss the sale, you can still get the course anytime. And it's an instant download, so you don't have to wait. Oh, well, and this seemed like a good idea with Easter and spring and all the bird breeders listing their babies for sale, to do this now and prepare all of you. So, all right, let's start. Mistake number 1 has to do with how people handle, dun dun dun, fledging. So what's fledging? Fledging is a term used to describe the period where a baby bird is learning to use its wings. This is a chaotic period where most people clip for safety to keep a baby bird from hurting itself, falling, crashing, breaking its neck against a wall, all the terror stories that you hear. It's very much like watching a human child learn to walk. They naturally fall down and don't get it right all the time. And sometimes it can be funny, and other times it can be downright terrifying. When your environment is set up to handle this stage, it's a lot less stressful. My baby bird course talks about how to go about this, shows you what it looks like and how to handle the craziness that is a bird trying to learn to fly. I'm all about providing the right environment for your bird to learn to fly safely and effectively so that you can experience how amazing it is to have a fully flighted bird in your life. Once they're skilled pilots of their bodies, you can truly shape the chaos into something awesome and not terrifying. The better flyers they become, the safer they are. Mistake number 2 has to do with how people handle weaning. Weaning is a process that is highly debatable on whether you should even be allowed to do it as a non-breeder. That issue aside, the process of weaning is stressful on every young animal. Learning to eat on your own is way harder than having someone else feed you. And it's a process that is incredibly important and plays a major role in how your bird evolves. So it got itself a whole chapter in my baby bird course, jam-packed with ideas on how to successfully navigate the weaning process and to do so onto a long-term healthy diet versus a fast-paced junk food diet, which is what most breeders do. Number 3, day 1 and what it should look like. Anyone with a baby bird wants to spend all their time snuggling and loving on it, but that's not what your adult relationship will look like with that bird, so setting that expectation early on can be extremely detrimental to your long-term success. And yes, don't worry, I show you what my day 1 to day 30 and beyond looks like with raising a baby bird in my course. I actually raised a couple clients' birds in this course and documented every single moment for you guys, because I believe seeing is easier to learn from than just being told what to do or what not to do. Plus, having more than one bird allowed for me to show you guys multiple outcomes, and I didn't have them at the same time. Number 4, speaking in absolutes. This is my husband Dave's favorite. So what does this even mean? This means saying things like, my baby bird loves being pet on the head. While that statement may be true after being fed or in the evenings when the house is quiet, it may not be true in a different environment. So believing statements like that as fact or truth can really get you into trouble. Some other examples of speaking in absolutes is saying things like, my baby bird hates baths. Birds should naturally enjoy water, and so the introduction to water may not have been ideal or positive. But if you believe your bird hates baths, you may never try to bathe your bird again. Same thing for loving or hating certain foods, people, objects, etc., etc. You probably get the point. All this stuff is ever changing. So how often did your kid's favorite color change growing up? It's like that. And lastly, number 5, even though there's a zillion more than actually 5, conditioning versus training. I found a lot of my clients will tell me, my baby bird is coming harness trained. Unlikely. Your baby bird is actually conditioned to wearing a harness. Conditioning and training are completely different. Training involves being able to offer a reward for doing a certain behavior. A baby bird is naturally going to be very tolerant of someone whom it's already familiar with putting a harness on it. It's not going to understand what's going on, and it doesn't know that this apparatus is actually meant to restrict its movement. It's just tolerating being touched differently than usual by someone completely familiar, usually the person who's feeding that baby. So harness conditioning is something I demo in my baby bird course. I actually used the harness to pet the baby bird I was raising because that was the only form of reward I had to work with. I was able to associate the harness with good feelings of being pet and was eventually able to put it on. But I stressed to the owner of this bird that she would not only have to keep up this conditioning as the bird got older, but also transition to training with food rewards down the line. It's important when it comes to things like harnesses that the associations remain as positive as possible, and I think most people are so focused on getting the harness on that they don't realize the hardest part is actually getting it back off the bird. If you have experience raising baby birds, let me know what your top 5 struggles or mistakes were and what advice you have to others in the comments below. Are you guys getting along right now? Look, I turn around, he's like, it wasn't me. You can always sign up for a one-on-one consultation on my website. We love to walk people through situations as complicated as raising a new bird to just ensure you're both on the right track the whole time. Don't forget to check out my baby bird course at birdtricks.com, especially this weekend, April 8th and 9th, for 50% off this instant digital download. Use the code BABYBIRD2335 for this deal. And also, since my beginner level course has an option for getting the beginner level plus the baby bird course, this will also be on sale for $35 off. You can find more courses and information on how to bond with your bird at birdtricks.com. See you guys in the next video.